Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the emotional associations that we see with money. Before we get into the video, guys, go ahead and click the subscribe link, turn on the notification so you can stay up to date on all of the videos. So how do you feel about money? That is an honest question that you do have to ask yourself. Looking at money, looking at the physical attributes of money, it allows you to pay bills. You can go buy things you can do out of need. For a lot of people, they have an emotional connection to something that I feel that they shouldn't. However, there again are a lot of people that do. You start getting into the greed factors. You start getting into the complications and the money that is honestly a mess. How do we cope with money? How do we make sure that we know exactly what we're doing with it? This is where, again, going back to the 50-30-20 rule, the budgeting aspect of it, making sure you know kind of the de-association with the thought of money and exactly how it is. Money even ties to social standards. It ties to the abilities to live, to buy things, to fulfill our needs, fulfill our wants. A lot of that does come with money. So why is it such an emotional topic? Really, it is a lot of our character. It's a lot of our status within life, depending on how much money that you do have. Now, within that same vein, guys, you have to think about it as the tool for what you want. This is, again, where a lot of the debt, where a lot of the counseling comes in, where a lot of the planning comes in, again, being one of those two people. One, that at the end of the month, they're wondering where all their money went. Second one is wondering where they're going to put all the additional money that they have at the end of the month, because they know exactly where every dollar is going to. You can kind of get out of a cycle where most people are negative about money. Money is looked at as evil. Money is looked at as, something that is greed. That is something that you do need more of, no matter how much you get. If you want 100,000, you want 1 million. If you have 1 million, you want 10 million, 100 million. Regardless of what it is, you really have to cut the ties of the emotions. And this also comes to when it comes to purchasing things, when it comes to investing, especially when it comes to, investing, when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to things of that nature, you have to treat it more of a monetary exchange or more of a logical, sound nature on what you're buying. This really goes back to consumer spending, consumer debt. So when you look at a vehicle, you need a vehicle to take you from home to work, to the store, to whatever social outings you have. You need a vehicle that fills XYZ. Now, does that mean you buy a $30,000 car? Does it mean you buy a $50,000 car, $70,000 car, $120,000 car? This is where the emotional aspect, in my opinion, kind of goes into play. Really filling the need. Not really the need. The need is you need a vehicle. You need a vehicle that is reliable. You need a vehicle that can take you to A and B. This is where the wants come in. Now, I want a car that has every single option you can imagine. I want the sunroof. I want the power windows. I want the TV screens. I want everything in there. Again, can you afford it? Going back to the budget again, this is really where it comes into what can you afford realistically. You have to have a lot of checks and balances when it comes to thinking about the emotion and thinking about the tie that goes into it. Are you buying a Volkswagen or are you buying an Audi? Is it 30,000 or is it 50,000? What can you afford in the financial situation you're in? Now, one of the big things, of course, the emotional aspect is debt. So debt can lead to an absolute huge obstacle, which is the reason why I started this channel. If you can remove that obstacle, imagine how free you would feel. If you didn't have an auto loan payment, if you didn't have a mortgage payment, if you didn't have credit card debt, if you didn't have student loans, there are a lot of things when you go back to a time when you didn't have debt, being able to live free, making different choices. You're not going to be stuck possibly at a job that you don't like from 9 to 5, just to be able to afford the bills that you have already accumulated because you're living outside of your means and you're buying things much, much higher at a price tag than you should be. This is the reason, again, why we started really changing the mindset and thinking about things differently, where if you have a neighbor, they call it keeping up with the Joneses, a couple things of that nature. They get a new car, you get a new car. They get a new house, you get a new house. It, again, is the psychological factor. It's not they get a new car, you're all set because your cars are paid off, your cars are reliable. There's nothing you have to worry about. A lot of people will go, it's almost like a win-lose scenario, or a lose-lose scenario between both of them, that you have the opportunity to financially be better, not knowing, again, full financial pictures of everyone around you, but knowing what you have in the bank, what you can afford, is it within your budget, and then living within that budget. Now, again, are you looking at, buying clothes? Are you buying t-shirts for $10? Are you buying t-shirts for $50? There's a lot of thought that really needs to go into it before you do make a purchase. And also, again, making sure that you can afford the things that you're buying. Now, when you think back of the relationship of money, a lot of people associate it with the parents. Parents are the first kind of influence that teach us about money or fail to teach us about money. That is one of the big problems that we do see a lot, is parents are not educating children on financial, their financial well-being. They're not included in any of the planning when it comes to the household, when it comes to the budgeting, when it comes to, purchases. There are very little to no talk about money. And most of the talks, if there are talks, are negative. I hear a lot that credit cards are evil. Credit cards are not evil. Credit cards are a tool to buy things that you could not otherwise afford at an interest rate, which, again, depending on how you utilize the tool, it can be good, it can be evil. It can get things that you want in life. It can also allow you to rent cars. It can allow you to, rent hotel rooms. Most of them will not take debit cards. You're kind of limited if you don't have an established credit cycle, which, again, in some of our videos, we've talked about kind of building credit with credit cards. You have to make sure, guys, that you are well educated when it comes to money, and you're really setting a dividing line between being able to emotionally tie to the money that you have, the relationship with money, building it healthier, building it happier, making sure, again, that you're really making a plan to become debt-free. Debt-free is really the first step, guys, to the rest of your financial freedom and your life. Again, it's going to affect the decisions you're making for the rest of your life. If you do not have the looming debt, you're not tied to a job where you're required to work 9 to 5 just to pay your average bills. Again, it can allow you to switch careers, switch jobs. The happiness, you can't put a price tag on, and that's what I really want to summarize this video with, is when it comes to the relationship with money, guys, really take a hard look at it. See if you're using it as a tool to obtain the things you want, or if it is something that is negatively affecting your relationships, whether it's your wife, whether it's your friends, your family, whether it's your social aspect. What is really affecting you when it comes to your relationship with money, and how can you improve that relationship with money? All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.